Chapter 28, Mishnah 7. In Chapter 27, Mishnah 2, it was taught that for a cloth to be subject to Tumah, i.e. any type of Tumah besides Tumah's Midras, it must measure at least 3 by 3 finger breadths. Our Mishnah cites a dispute about how this measurement is made. The measurement of 3 by 3 finger breadths that the rabbi stated as being the minimum for cloth to receive Tumah excludes the hem. That is, the cloth must cover an area of 3 by 3 finger breadths after its edges have been folded over and sewn to make a hem. These are the words of Rabbi Shimon. But the sages say it is enough for the cloth to be exactly 3 by 3 finger breadths, even though it will cover a smaller area after the hem is made. The Mishnah turns its attention to a patch that became tameh and was then sewn onto a garment to cover a hole in the middle of the garment. According to the rule, anything attached to something tameh is also tameh. The garment acquires the same tumah status as the patch. However, for this rule to apply, the patch must be attached to the garment in a significant way. The Mishnah discusses what type of attachment is considered significant. If it, i.e. a tameh patch, was sewn onto a garment on only one side, leaving the other 3 sides of the patch hanging loose, it is not considered attached to the garment. As such, the garment remains tahor, but if it was sewn onto 2 opposite sides, it is considered attached. It thus makes the garment tameh. If it was made like the Greek letter gamma, which has the shape of an L, i.e. the patch was sewn on 2 adjacent sides, Rabbi Akiva rules that it's considered attached, thus making the garment tameh. But the sages rule that it is not considered attached, so the garment remains tahor. The Mishnah stated that the patch sewn on only one side is not considered attached. According to the next Tana, the ruling applies only in a certain type of case. Rabbi Yehuda said, in what case was it stated that a patch sewn on one side is not considered attached? In the case of a cloak, which is a flat piece of cloth that one wraps around his body. A cloak can be worn upside down, with the bottom edge, which normally reaches the legs, being shifted to the top, near the neck and head. Thus, even if the single sewn side of the patch is above the hole, so that the patch rests over the hole most of the time, i.e. when the cloak is worn in its normal position, when the cloak is turned upside down, the patch will fall downward and expose the hole. Since it fails to cover the hole adequately, the patch is not considered attached to the garment. In the case of a shirt, however, which cannot be worn upside down because it has sleeves, if the single sewn side of the patch is above the hole, it is considered attached because the patch will always fall over the hole and cover it. But if it is sewn below the hole, it is not considered attached because the patch will curl over and expose the hole.